and they had heard that there was a wise man in the village. And these young boys decided that they were going to challenge this man and find out if he was truly the wisest man in the village. So what they decided that they were going to do, they ran up to the old man and they said, "Old man, if you're really the wisest man in the village, then tell me, in my hand I have a bird. And if you're the wisest man in the village, tell me, is this bird dead or is it alive?" And the wise man, being the wise man that he was, he knew that if he said that the bird was alive, that the boy would squeeze the bird and kill it. But he knew that if he said that the bird was dead, that the boy would open up his hand and let the bird go. So the wise man, being the wise man that he was, he said, "Young man, I don't know whether or not that bird in your hand is dead or alive. But one thing that I know, and that is that you have a bird in your hand." And ladies and gentlemen, that's a humorous thought, but I simply want to say that one thing I know is that you have an opportunity in your hands every single day. You have an opportunity to remind young people that they can fly. You've got an opportunity to remind young people that though they be a caterpillar, one day they're going to become a butterfly. Mm-hmm. And all the caterpillar has to do is get inside the cocoon. Because he's reminded inside the cocoon that I'm brilliant and I'm intelligent. And that's what you have to remind your young people every single day. I'm brilliant and I'm intelligent. Can I get you to say that with me just real quickly? I'm brilliant and intelligent. One more time. I am brilliant and intelligent. And I'm walking in my calling, y'all.
I'm walking in my calling.
That's what you want young people to wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and say before they even go out the door. You want to remind them and have them to remind themselves that I am brilliant and I am intelligent and I'm walking in my calling. Mm-hmm. And the young people's calling is to be a scholar. That's the reason their mother woke them up in the morning to go to school to become a scholar. Remind them that they start out from the position of brilliancy. That young man, you are brilliant and you are intelligent. And when you remind them of that, and when you remind them to say that every morning, and when you remind them, hey, listen, there's a song, and you teach them the song. You might even already know it. I want to teach it to you. And it goes, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. That's what the caterpillar has to say to itself every morning. Even though people don't believe it, the caterpillar has 10 legs that he has to crawl around with. But if he can get in that cocoon, a metamorphosis takes place, y'all. And that's why you get up in the morning. That's why you brush your teeth in the morning and wash your face, so that you can go remind these brilliant kids that they're brilliant and intelligent. We're talking about storytelling. I appreciate Miss Adria so much, and the team so much. I appreciate my son, Nick Cannon, so much. At the present time, my baby son, 5 son. My baby son is a junior at Howard University, and Nick decided he gonna up him, and so this past week he just enrolled at Howard University. And he clear up and down that with his busy schedule, he's still gonna be able to spend quality time at the campus 2 days a week in a class. That's outstanding. What a testimony. I said, do it, son, because it's a testimony to the nation, because a lot of young men think they don't have to go to school. I don't need college, but yes, you do. You need it. And we want to encourage them that you can do it. You can reach your goal. So what we did in motivating youth through the media, as Adria so beautifully laid out, I started Nick when he was 12 years old with a local public television station in Charlotte, North Carolina, him and 9 other young boys. And I watch them kids as they begin to interview every bank vice president in the city. They begin to interview every entrepreneur in the city. And I watch my son's people skills begin to grow. I watch his vocabulary begin to grow. I watch his interest for a city to begin to grow. And so what we did then, establishing this foundation and motivating youth through the media. Even better, since 2012, they perfected the technology that we can run an internet radio show from our cell phones. So with a good pair of earphones, let me get the earphones for your kids and the cell phones for your kids. Give me 25 youth, we'll break them up in 5 groups of 5. Mm-hmm. Each group will run their own internet radio show. Mm-hmm. They call it whatever they want to call it. They come on whatever time they want to come on, but they do it together as a team. Mm-hmm. Then we ask them to write a book together. Because if these young people, whether they be 14, 15, 16, 17, if they write a book together, they first host their show together. Then they write a book together. We can show these young people how to become authors before they even get out of school. Mm-hmm. We can show them how to make bestsellers out of their books because of the internet. And then we can say, listen, you wrote the book together with your team. Now your second book, write it together with your family. Because that's when you're empowering the family, y'all. Mm. What we can do, if you do a radio show and you reach out to all the young people in your city and have them call into your show, I guarantee you, you will begin to affect their life. Then if you write a book about what you're doing with the young people and you talk about it on the show, then none of us as good as all of us, y'all. But what we cannot do alone, we can do it together. I can get young people listening to those shows in San Diego. You could be in another state. If you have your young people set up a debating show around education, then we can have young men calling in from all over the country debating them. Me personally, because I have 5 sons and Nick is my oldest, my heart goes out to young men in this nation. It's a crisis in this nation with young men. So we got to get involved. So through the foundation, we will work with them on Saturday mornings like the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts do. Somewhere in your city, across the country, Nick and myself will be working with young people, polishing them like they do with Toastmasters, if you're familiar with Toastmasters. But we call ours the young articulators. So then a young man can stand up and run this meeting on Saturday morning. He becomes master articulator. Another young man runs the cameras. We need the cameras running because that's our footage. Because we've got another young person right there evaluating the speaker and evaluating the young man that's running the meeting this week. Because they rotate. The young man that's running the camera this week will run the meeting next week. So if they're rotating, they need to be evaluated. So we keep the cameras rolling. We teach the young people how to run the camera, how to run their radio shows on Saturday morning. If you allow me to do this and let us do this with your young people, I guarantee it's going to take their learning curve to a whole other level. Because on Saturday mornings, they're talking about who they're going to interview on their show for the rest of the week. That means if they want to interview every bank vice president in their city, I told the young people, if you let us as the adults book who you're going to interview for 30 days, it's going to change your life. And so what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, because of the internet tools that we have, our young people have them, they're playing with them. But imagine a young man on the bus riding to school. We got a 45-minute ride, but he got his earphones on, and he's co-hosting a radio show where he's talking about to other young men across the country. If we do this and get our young people to work together in a team, we can introduce them to the community. I can have them interviews every principal at y'all's school, then send that interview to me. We can have the young people beginning to do interviews for their radio show. Who's going to write the interview? You are. Who's going to read the commercial? You are. So the parents hear them hosting the show. The parents hear them reading the commercial. Even if you put this in your detention, you know when you send that little knucklehead boy to the detention, okay? If he doesn't get it, then he's going to come back to the class more confusing to the class. So we've got to change his thinking. If we can get him to stand up there and do an icebreaker with the cameras rolling and other young people evaluating him, if we can get him to buy into the fact that with other 4 young men, they're going to write a book together, change their finances, change their thinking. But I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, what we're trying to do is motivate our youth through the media. We have some incredible young people. We have some incredible tools, but we cannot allow them to sleep on themselves. What we're doing a campaign called Stop Hating. Let Nick and I come into your city and speak to your youth and say, stop hating on your teachers. Stop hating on your parents. Stop hating on yourself. We have them writing essays on that subject and poems on that subject. And that becomes the thing and the philosophy on their radio show. So that's basically what we wanted to bring. I appreciate y'all's time so very much. If there's any questions that you have, I can answer those questions for you individually. I know we're running out of time, but we're ready to hit the mat rolling with this because we've got some incredible incentives. Just like a reality show, we give it to your young people. We say, here's your task. Pull yourself together. If you're going to interview every pastor in your city, find out what your pastor is doing. If you're going to interview Subway, okay, find out what Subway is doing in your community. Do a documentary for Subway. If you can get your kids to do a documentary for Subway, Subway will pay for that documentary, particularly if we make it go viral. Every one of these corporations will pay our young people to produce intellectual property, y'all, that can go viral. Yeah. They will put up a budget of $5,000, $15,000. And then so what the young people see is that they have value. Because if they run their radio network together, if they write their book together, and then we show them how to master crowdfunding together as a team. Because if these young people run their radio show and then they raise $5,000 to give away to the community to help somebody, then we as the adults, the Nick Cannon Foundation, we will go get matching funding. So we can say, see y'all, y'all raised $5,000 to help your community. We got matching funding for you. We do it together as a team. Appreciate it.
Wow. All right.